What's up, folks? Let's go ahead and try this again. So I just did a recording of this live. If you caught that, thank you. You're a hero, and I really appreciate your patronage. But it was a complete fail. I was trying to share my screen the entire time and show the actual information about the event. I was talking through it and talking about stuff that was going on, and it was just a black screen, which we'll figure that out. I think that I just needed to share a window instead of a tab, but who knows? YouTube Live should be able to handle that, but yeah, I'll figure it out. So this is where we are right now, and we're on Saturday Swiss. We still have about, as of this recording, about 25 minutes left in lunch break, so we're about to get back to Gold Squadron Podcast live coverage. Huge shout out to Gold Squadron Podcast for again doing the live coverage of every single game for all 5 days. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, 4 days, excuse me. Love those guys. They do such good work, and they work really hard at this. As I said in the other video, I really hope that they are getting sleep. I hope they're getting food. I hope they are walking around and touching grass, and I hope that they are hydrating well. Take care of yourselves, guys. You're heroes. That goes to all of them. And yeah, so we're looking at the first day was Thursday. Let's see if I got that. Yeah, here we go. So we started on Thursday. I want to say this was the last chance qualifier, but I haven't seen anything called that. So this is one of the days that would pare people down to see who could actually make the final days. And of course, Duncan Howard, one of our old-time champions, won that one with a 4-ship Imperial list. And I did take a quick minute to look at the individual top cuts and see kind of which factions were showing. And actually, I have some more thoughts since I covered this before, so this is kind of good to do a retake. But it's been pretty wild. Yeah, so big flip. We're seeing a ton of Empire and Rebels. Empire and Rebels seem to be the two top dogs. Resistance is factoring in a lot. Republic is still showing up. And then Separatists are making a surprise showing, actually appearing in not exactly top cuts, but they're doing some pretty good spoilers, and they're showing up and popping stuff around. And also Scum. I don't know how. I'm going to dig through all of this in more detail later and do like a whole post recap breakdown. Right now, I don't want to get in the way of the main event. I want to enjoy what's going on now, and we'll do the full kind of health report later. But I am seeing a lot more Scum pilots, a lot more Scum lists, and all of them, or a lot of them, are performing significantly better than they did before. So we could kind of infer either the people have been practicing or trying them, or the points update really helped, or maybe they were really hit hard by the Republic lists. Maybe the Republic spam was just so good against Scum that it just kept them completely out of the tournament. I don't really know, but it's cool to see more of them flying around here. Like there's a bunch right here, just sort of popping up. Is that 4 in this screen here? And they do seem to be pretty significantly outperforming First Order. First Order is basically non-existent, which is a shock because First Order is still really good, and I don't think they necessarily lost anything here. So I guess they had a couple nerfs, but not enough to knock them out of the thing completely. So we're seeing it. It's been really cool to see the big names here. Like all of these folks are literal X-wing celebrities, and it's super exciting just to like, what's the word? From afar, vicariously live this whole event through them. To see all of these names there, folks who have known each other for years, who've been really top performers in tournaments all over the place for a long time. It's so cool to see them there playing this, enjoying themselves. If you're there in person, I bet this is just such a fun event. I hope it's a really good time. Love to see these guys at it. To kind of like jump into that too, a lot of us, speaking for myself and maybe for a lot of us too, I do think that there's just so much weight on this event being the final officially supported X-wing Worlds that we know of, supported by Atomic Mass Games, previously Fantasy Flight Games. Just the weight on this, it's a very significant event in the history of X-wing miniatures, which is very cool to see. Really cool to kind of be a part of an experience, even from afar. To be a part of this community and this game in this moment feels very historically significant. Yeah, I think it does. Yeah, so that's very cool. But also because of that, there's still kind of a cloud hanging over all of this. Like, what is going to be the future of this game? Where does it go from here? And for one, we've got a studio panel from Atomic Mass Games coming the end of the weekend. I want to say tomorrow. We don't know what's going to be said. We have no reason to believe anything is going to be said about X-Wing or Armada. You never know. There could be surprise announcements, or there could be literally nothing. So I'm not necessarily holding my breath, but we've been surprised before. And then even if there is nothing in the panel, a month, 2 months down the road, we might get some more print and play. We might get another surprise announcement. We really don't know. And even after Worlds, there are still a couple grand tournaments that are officially AMG supported that are still going to be coming up. But then after that, it's pretty much going to turn over completely to the X-wing Alliance, XWA points and tournament organization, which is very exciting because they are folks who are super committed to the community, have done a really good job of kind of curating stuff and building trust in the community. Love to see it. Um, yeah, so that's exciting. That's a formal, guarantee is a strong word, but kind of a formal commitment that the game is going to continue on further with physical product, with actual tournament support moving forward indefinitely. So all of next year, we already have tournaments committed to using XWA X-Wing Alliance points, communicating directly with the XWA team. So there will be a lot of communication between TOs across the country and the world, as well as also the leadership on the X-Wing Alliance, which is super cool. We actually have a level of collaboration and communication that we've never had before, which is also pretty exciting because there are things the XWA can say and do and interact with that none of the actual corporate leaders of the game before have been able to do. So there are definitely upsides. There are downsides too, though. Limited resources, limited time. Like, we're gonna feel the change, but yeah. But this like pivotal moment, that turnover from AMG to XWA, in theory, has been a really big piece of what's been kind of on my mind thinking about the game leading up to this, and even through the last couple of days of games. I keep thinking how cool this is, how bittersweet it is because it's the end, but how exciting it is because it's the beginning. But there's so much we don't know. Yeah, so I'm really excited to see what happens next. It's pretty freaking cool. Yeah, but yeah. Jumping into the meta real quick because the streams are about to start back up again. I don't want to compete with those. We're looking at a ton of very dominant performance by Rebels and Empire, but between Thursday and Friday, it's actually changed quite a bit. Where this is where Thursday we saw double Empire, double Rebels, one Resistance made it in your top five. We'll just look at the top five. And then yesterday, Friday, we had double double Resistance, one Rebels, one Empire, one Republic. So that one spoiler is switched, and then it's flipped a little bit. I'm still a little bit unsure if Resistance is going to perform well or Rebels are going to perform well, Empire is going to perform well. There's a very strong chance that the winner of the entire event or your top cut is going to be dominated by Resistance, Rebels, and Empire. But we'll see. We don't know. So far, we've seen kind of the more unusual bunch, the folks kind of experimenting with stuff with more to prove and more to win, or just kind of experimenting more. Saw Will Hagewood play just now. Yeah, and then we're going to see folks riding some of the crazier stuff tomorrow, or like the really, really powerful lists. There are going to be some familiar faces, definitely some things we've seen before. A lot of pilots are showing up a lot, like Luke, Wedge, and the X-Wings are going to be there. Sabine and the TIE is going to be there. Falcons are going to be there on some level. Vader's going to be there on some level. But beyond that, there are a lot of different things it could be and a lot of things that could perform well. And that's just kind of a really cool meta space for the game to be in right now. Now, right before the lunch break, we had a game between two streamer tops there. There was JJ, I want to say from, I need to figure out what podcast he's on because I watch it all the time and I love it on YouTube and listen to the podcasts. Mostly switched to Star Wars Unlimited, but still does some X-Wing content, and I expect we'll ramp up some more after this. And then Will Hagewood, obviously of Gold Squadron podcast. The two of them played against each other, Rebels and Empire. And the stream commentary on that from Gold Squadron podcast pointed out that neither player really made a mistake. They both played really well. They both showed off kind of the best of what Empire and Rebels are capable of as factions and lists. And it was a really even matchup. Rebels did end up running away with it in the final score, but there were multiple moments in there where it came down somewhat to luck, where there was still plenty of room for the Empire to flip the game around, even up to the final turn. One more ship destroyed, one more ship halved, one more objective that was claimed either way could have flipped it to the point where Empire had a path to victory right up until that very end. That last couple rolls really decided it there. And that was pretty freaking cool to see the match that close from two players who played it really well. And so a lot of that is going to be on show tomorrow as well. So really pumped to see the end of the matches today and then see what goes into tomorrow. Let's see it. I'm going to leave it there. I'll keep it short so I'm not competing with that stream. But yeah, expect a lot more commentary coming up soon. Till next time. Oh, one more thing. Excuse me. If you are watching any coverage outside the Gold Squadron podcast, I would love to see videos, photos, commentary, write-ups, any content out there. I want to put it all together and then kind of live on the excitement of Worlds for a couple months coming up, just to kind of enjoy this significant event and everything that went into it. I'd love to share that and kind of broadcast stuff out. just, yeah, drop me notes, drop me some links if there's anything you'd like to see shared or you thought was really cool. I'd love to see that and be able to share it out more too. So that is really it. Until next time, we'll talk soon.